Hello everyone, I'm Nathan Lee, Head of Engagement for the National Lottery Heritage Fund in the north of England. Apologies I could not be there in person, but I am delighted to be given the opportunity of speaking to you via this video. Over £13 million has been awarded to 12 projects across the UK that specifically focus on repairing Lidos or exploring their fascinating heritage. In addition to these 12 projects, there are many more Lidos that have benefited from being elements of larger projects, especially those in parks. In fact, there are so many examples of the latter, putting an exact figure on them would be impossible. You may be more familiar with our organisation in its previous guise as the Heritage Lottery Fund. With our new name, the National Lottery Heritage Fund, there is a much clearer link between where the money for our funding originates. And it is thanks to all the national lottery players out there that the regeneration of Lidos across the UK is possible. Although the name has changed, we continue to inspire, lead and resource the UK's heritage to create positive and lasting change for people and communities now and into the future. In recent times, we've seen a renewed passion for Lidos, with more and more people taking to the open air pools. We recognise that Lidos are an incredibly important part of the UK's heritage. Their regeneration speaks to a number of our priorities in our new funding framework, which we launched earlier this year, and also meet a number of desired outcomes we wish to see from the projects we fund. Community lies at the heart of many Lido projects, and this is an area we have identified as one of our priorities in the new funding framework. We have seen through Cleveland Pools Trust, Saltdean Lido Community Interest Company and Save Grange Lido Limited, to name but a few, that it is local communities driving these projects to restore Lidos and preserve their local heritage, not just for them, but for even more people within the community to use and for future generations. These hard-working community groups are also ensuring that more people are engaged with the heritage that surrounds them, achieving our mandatory outcome and ensuring that heritage is for all. The decline of the Lido following the Second World War has also meant that a number of Lidos across the country have faced years of neglect and become derelict sites. Heritage at risk has been outlined as another of our priorities, so injecting life back into our Lidos and restoring them to their former glory also strongly speaks to the fund's priorities. In recent years, it has been a joy to see that Brockwell Park Lido in London, Tyneside Lido in Plymouth and Innisgarrod Lido in Wales have all been restored and reopened for all to enjoy. We have also seen that many of the Lido projects we have funded have boosted the economy, and the organisations have come up with plans to ensure that they are more resilient themselves. The Grade 2 listed Broomhill Pool Lido in Ipswich is one such example, as their redevelopment will also include a new build extension which will provide health and wellbeing facilities and a cafe, creating a commercially viable leisure destination. Last but not least, and this may seem quite obvious, but Lido projects speak to our newest outcome of greater well-being for people. Lidos like Brockwell Park not only allow for invigorating swim in an Olympic-sized pool, but its facilities will allow for other activities such as yoga and fitness classes, and have even hosted a festival of design. As the largest funder of the UK's heritage, we have awarded around £190 million a year to new projects. Since its conception, the National Lottery Heritage Fund has supported over 45,000 projects, allocating £9 billion across the UK. We're very proud that within that figure, that we have invested in so many of the UK's wonderful Lidos and hope to continue that into the future. If you are thinking of applying for funding from us, however much it might be, we know from previous projects that successful proposals will show a demand by local people, have plans for wider engagement and are supportive of wider agendas such as regeneration ideas for the local area, and will put in place systems for sustaining their own operations. Before I sign off, I would also like to say a big thanks to the Lido Guide for showing the leadership we are looking for from heritage organisations in inviting us to say some words to you at this conference. I hope next time to be able to attend in person.